G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So, today we're going to have a look at a quick way to get African cichlids breeding that haven't bred for a while. But before we do that, or at the same time we try and spark some breeding, I'm going to do some tank repairs because, not tank repairs, tank maintenance. There's a couple of airlines pinched and some jazz like that, so I'll get the camera in the room and climatize it and then I'll show you. Alright guys, so I sold the 3-spot cichlids. I can't remember their exact name pronunciation, so I'm not going to try, but if you've been a follower of the channel you'll know what they are. And basically the person that I sold them to, he sent me 3 times basically. I sold him the fish really cheap. Like, he was a great bloke, I knew he was a great bloke, so I did him cheap, and then he sent me 3 times what I asked for, really, in short. So there was one message at the end of, "Mate, you've sent me too much money." He requested that I breed him up some Hertae, Protomelas Hertae I think it is, or I think their classification changed or something. Long story behind these were, guy owned a colony, he wasn't a breeder, and there was a really old group, and I got hold of it. His tank broke. He actually had him in some sort of pond. Anyway, so I don't know if I had them before the channel or during the channel, but anyway, basically I bred them, but I only got one breed out of them, and then the male passed away. When I got him, he wasn't unhealthy, but I knew he was super old and he definitely didn't transport well. Basically, emergency situation. He had been rushed to a fish store, and then from the fish store sat in there for one day, and then went to my house, and like, very old fish, and like, they obviously just didn't move well. But I did get he did manage to knock up one of the girls before he passed away. So this batch has always been pretty important to me. Now I've grown these up. I actually stunted them. They were not my proudest moment. They were in a way too small tank, and then so they have grown since then, and they are of okay size, but they're not huge. Some stunted worse than others, but anyway, the point is I should be able to definitely get fry out of them. They're old enough, but I don't know, I haven't seen these anywhere else in Australia. So and like, the guy that wants to buy them off me, he hasn't been able to find them, so I don't know. I wouldn't mind breeding them also for the fact that we could spread them around, and like, I would probably only sell them exclusively to breeders I know that are dead serious about the game, you know. So the first problem I had is the drain pipe was too short. The filters were only just, were sticking out of the water, and if you know anything about gravity fed filters, that's no good. So I needed to extend that. I just heated a piece of PVC up and stuck it on the end. I'm too cheap to buy couplings. The fish room is trash, guys. Oxygen, bloody buckets, everything everywhere. But anyway, where's the hose going? Oh, it's going to the pressure washer. Got a new pressure washer, guys. It's pretty good. Ugh, cost me a small fortune, but you get that. I basically got one of the biggest of the small hobbyist ones. Come here. We need a hose attachment. It's been a pretty warm day, so that water up there should be of decent temperature. Got my jar changer. I got also some baby paraphernalia. Wrong word, what would you call it? Baby attire? No, baby equipment. Alright, so jar changer goes in here. So, heaps of people have always asked me, why the jar changer? Why not just make one? I did make one, and I always use the one that I made. Alright, so if you don't know, constant pressure pump there, which runs the fish room. I've got a tee off it, so I can use that aged water at any time. And the jar changer was much prettier, so that's why I used that. But the sad thing is he doesn't make them anymore. Alright, so there's a piece of airline on the ground over here. Alright, I got a funny one for you. You might laugh, you might not. So, my crankcase has been holding water from water. So, I hooked the air pump up to the breathers to evaporate the water. Alright, so next trouble number 2 with this tank. And it's not my proudest moment, is that airline there, up here somewhere, is pinched behind the tanks. Yeah, look, I can see it from here. That one right there. So basically, I bought some fresh airline with me. Shout outs to the subscribers that gave me a free roll of air hose. I feel like I haven't bought air hose for ages. 2 people have given me a 100-meter roll in the last 3 years. And believe it or not, even at my caliber, that's enough air hose. Alright, so the biggest problem here is I don't know how to get it down. I don't really want to run it down the front. Alright, I'm going to run that airline and get back to you. Alright guys, so obviously we're going to give him a nice good feed while we're here. I might actually, so I've got a little secret sauce with the extreme fish feed. If I'm trying to breed a fish, keep this one a secret, boys. If I'm trying to breed a fish, I'll get some of the extreme krill flake and crush the krill flake, and then pour the krill flake in with the pellets and spray a little bit of water and just get it damp, and then dry it out on a piece of baking paper, and it just ups the protein content. And I've used that with the flower horns before, and it did seem to get them breeding. But yeah, now we just got to wait and see. Might sit down and watch them for a minute. Sometimes you need someone to say they want to fish for you to take the extra time to watch that colony. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I don't get to watch every colony for hours on end every day. The only thing I do wonder about these guys is the males, I feel like should definitely have more colour at this size. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm hoping a bit more attention from me, increased filtration, because we'll have, you can already see I've got proper air supply. This sponge was only just sponging. This sponge was only just bubbling before, and then these two were out of the water, so they were only just spilling over. I may even add more sponge filters to the tank. I don't know. I'll do an ammonia test in a couple of days, and I'll let the numbers talk. I'd decide whether we add more filtration. There's a reason the water level is so low on this tank. If you look back there, the top rail of the tank, I didn't fiberglass and it cracked, which I'm quite annoyed about, because these ones here, I fiberglassed that rail. If you look, they're exactly the same tank design. That back rail is fiberglassed, so I can bring the water level way higher. So these three here, I didn't fiberglass that, and all three, that rail was cracked. I need to drop the water level on this tank too. That one's cracked as well. So I don't know what to do about that. I was thinking maybe some of the fiberglass tape, the fiber tape, and like tape it and then fiberglass resin over it. But obviously I need to take the fish out to do that. But yeah, it's just it's the only real regret I have of building all these tanks. And like, see this one, I've got the water level that low. As long as I keep the water level that low, there's no risk of the tanks getting damaged. Obviously this one here, this is the last one to crack. That wasn't cracked a little while ago, so that's why this one hasn't had the water level dropped. Alright guys, so that water level ended up perfect. It's draining now, and it's just below that rail, but it's high enough that the filters are working properly. So that's that sorted. While I was here, I had time to think. So you can see those filters are absolutely cranking now. I'm stoked with that. You can see the tank's actually spinning. Give them a bit of current. 80% water change. Nice big feed. We'll see how we go. But anyway, so I was thinking about these tanks. I kind of need them not to splash too much. So that top one there splashes like crazy. So I'm thinking I might have to make some J pipes up there. Kind of thinking those three pipes there, bridging them into one and having one J pipe, be pretty cool, I reckon. Because yeah, I can guarantee that's probably splashing on the cracks, and we need to get those cracks dry as possible, and then decide a route whether we try and fiberglass them or whether we. I guess I could drop the water level to like 50%, but then the only problem with that is I'd have to tailor the filter to work at the water level of 50%, and then I just tried to close the door with the hose in there. Brain cells are not working today. So if I get the filter to run at 50%, drop the water level to 50%, I could actually maybe think about fiberglassing them with the fish in there. I don't know what the legalities. It's not really legalities, but I don't know what the circumstances would be with the fish if the fiberglass resin splashes in the tank. I could go to town. I could make up a little board that that sits in the tank. I guess it could float. Make up a floating board. I'm brainstorming here, so none of this might not happen, but let me know what you think. I could make I could put, it'd have to be styrofoam with a piece of like 3mm MDF on top or something. Obviously MDF's going to swell, but it's going in the bin. And it could be like a floating vessel that's pretty much the width of the tank, the depth of the tank, but only like a 600 wide. And I just like canoe that plank across as I'm fiberglassing. But anyway, I need to think about, I'm pretty sure you can get like some tacky like fiberglass joint tape. Let me know in the comments if you know. If you know, you know, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I pretty much just need to do those 6 rails. I'm not going to make them look pretty. They're not getting gel coat over the top. I just want them to be sealed. So the top and the bottom tank I can do now because they've dried for well over 6 months. That's how long that's been cracked for. The middle tank, obviously I'm going to have to drop that water level. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But the problem with that, I'm going to have to wait months because I can't fiberglass it while it's damp. So the water level has to drop and then wait. Be patient, grasshopper, and then repair. If I can tee it up correctly, if I get the Stingray tank ready to repair, and then we do it all at once. The Stingray tank, I'm thinking about using expanding foam in spots, but obviously expanding foam will melt with fiberglass. So I was actually thinking expanding foam and then paper macheing it or something like that, and then fiberglassing it. I don't know. There's some bits I want to delete. There's like a big trough at the end I want to delete. I need to drill it, put a new hole in the side as well. But anyway, that's for another day. If you like the video, give a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit that little red button. Hopefully we can get some more shit like this going on. It was cool that a purchaser has motivated me to do some maintenance. That's pretty cool, because if I just get back into the rhythm of maintenance, the videos will flow. Anyway guys, peace out.